Hey guys, it's Kuji here. I have finally hit the point in my Let's Play world where I needed to combine some farms. Need a creeper and an iron farm and a small enough footprint that I could fit it in a ship that I'm trying to make. So, I went to work and designed my own. Here's the build. So we're going to start this off in a deep ocean biome, and instead of going all the way down to the bottom, we're going to place this lily pad, place a block next to it, then we're going to take scaffolding and go all the way up to Y250. Alright, we have reached Y250. Now we're going to use whatever building blocks you want to use. I'm going to use these stone bricks. I'm going to make a platform in order to base this whole thing off of. I like to do 5x5. It gives me some room to play around with, but yours can be as big or small as you want it to be. With your platform complete, you're going to want to make 3 double chests. With these 3 double chests, you're going to take 9 hoppers. You're going to feed 3 into each chest in a 3x3 square. So it'll look something like this. Remember to crouch in order to get your hoppers placed the right direction. And then we're going to take whatever block you want that is not transparent. And we're going to go all the way around this 3x3 square of hoppers. I like to take the corners out just because I like how that looks. Now with that square done, put some water in here. That'll be useful for later for when we need to jump down. And then we're going to go to a total of 19 up. So we're going to add 18 onto this first layer down there. Go all the way up. And once we're all the way to 19, which will put you at Y270, we're going to jump back down and then repeat this with all the other sides. Once we're back at the top with our last column done, we're going to take our building bricks. I'm using these for the floor. We're going to go all the way around, adding an extra layer. Then we're going to go out on each side, adding 2. And then we'll fill in the corners, except for the very outside corner block. Those we're going to leave empty. With the first floor done, you should have something that looks pretty much like this, actually exactly like this. And then you're going to take 3 spacer blocks, and you're going to put 8 fence gates there. You're going to open each one. It's basically going to border to keep water from falling down. And then we're going to get rid of these extra blocks back here. This next bit's tricky to do in survival. I recommend making that bottom platform where we first started fairly big and using scaffolding. But we're going to go off that corner 7 blocks and then add another 3 out this direction to make it 7 and 4 total. And then we're going to go 5 blocks down, which makes it a total of 6 down. And then we're going to make a 3x6 platform, which is going to be our iron golem spawner. So basically it's going to have 3 villagers and a zombie up here with some beds. With the platform complete, 3x6, we can get rid of this little bit hanging down, and we're going to go around the whole thing with glass. You can actually use any block you want, but the look of glass is kind of nice, and you can make sure at a glance that your villagers are still okay and your zombie is still okay. Again, I like to take out the corner pieces. Then you have to make sure that you're on this end towards the spawner. Put the beds on. Then you're going to place 2 slabs just above the beds, and then a couple spacer blocks and a trapdoor on this block above. And then we'll fill in the rest of the glass, go over to the other side, and we're going to put some torches in to keep anything extra from spawning in there, and a boat for the zombie to fit into. So we need to fill all these extra spaces with torches, ensure that nothing can spawn. Throw a boat right here, and that'll be perfect for the villagers to be able to see the zombie. Fill it all in, and cap it off with a non-spawnable block. I like slabs. You can use whatever you want as long as nothing can spawn on it. And I leave a gap so I can get the zombie in, and I know where it needs to go, and so I can get the villagers in. Now, obviously, I'm doing this in creative, but if not, the best way to get a villager in here is to lure them up with beds, put the bed over the hole like this, and then you'll break the bed once they're sleeping, and they'll fall right in. Now, I'm going to make 3 more of these. If you don't need a bunch of iron, you only want to supplement your stock a little bit, there's no need to make 3 more. I like to having 4 because this is going to be the only source of iron that I have in the future, and I might as well stock up as much as I can, because in the next update, I can put an auto crafter in and turn it all into blocks right away and have tons of iron with very little storage. So we've completed our 4 villager pods. Now we're going to add in 1 block on each of these corners for a total of 8 blocks. These are later going to have water added on top of them to make a unique water stream. And then we're going to go 2 high all the way around this platform with whatever building block you choose, as long as it doesn't let light through. With those complete, you're going to add water on top of each one of these elevated blocks. It should look something like this if you've completed all the steps properly so far, other than you might only have 1 villager pod. Now we're going to finish this layer off by adding 3 high all the way around, making the whole thing 5 high. The next step is to add a 9 by 5 layer on top of the glass. This is going to be your first spawning platform. So you'll see that it's going to cover all the glass when you're all said and done. So it'll be the 5 by 9 on the outside, and each platform will be connected on the inside corner. Right there. Then you go around the whole outside with a 2 high wall. Again, this platform and these walls can be made out of any block of your choice. As long as they're non-transparent, they let 0 light through. So this next section is very important. You need to be dead in the middle. You're going to build 5 out on the inside edge, and then branch out 2 on each side, and then 2 more towards the other side. These first 2 you can get rid of. They're just temporary blocks. You replace them with trapdoors. Then you're going to put a button on the 3rd one, and the 4th one's going to be a fence. Right in the middle is going to be snow for your golem, and then you're going to completely fence him in around the edges. Don't forget to open your trapdoors. Move around to the other side. 2 more trapdoors, button. Same thing on the 3rd side and the 4th side. On this 3rd side, we're going to add a couple fence gates so we can finish that square off and get rid of some temporary blocks that we don't need. With the first floor done and the golem platform in the middle done with all the spawn proofing and access ways for the creepers, you're going to go on top of your glass and you're going to copy exactly the floor and make a ceiling. With the whole ceiling done, you're going to bridge out over your snow golem. You're going to put his head on him, and then you're going to cover him up in case it starts to rain. Jump down, and we're going to start placing a whole bunch of trapdoors. It's important that every ceiling block is covered with a trapdoor, otherwise you're potentially going to get spawns that could be anything other than creepers. And if you get a skeleton, you can say goodbye to your snow golem. This is a good time to check and make sure that all your trapdoors between your snow golem and your floor are all open to make sure that the creepers can't reach your snow golems. The last thing to do to finish up this level of the creeper farm is to place carpets in this every other grid pattern in order to keep spiders from spawning, because the last thing you want is spiders getting in here and wrecking up the joint. Alright, there you go. One full level is complete. If you only need one, you don't need a lot of gunpowder, you can go ahead and seal this whole top layer off. I'm going to continue, however. I'm going to make a total of 3 layers, and then I'll get back with you at the end. This is as good as a time as any to tell you guys that I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. If you like this build, please help me out. Like and subscribe. I'll keep trying to make stuff like this, and I'll keep putting out tutorials for it. I can only get better from here. If you followed along with me this whole way and you've made 3 full layers, now is probably the best and honestly last chance that you have to make sure that there are no errors. You really don't want to have to come back in here when things start spawning. It's not fun in survival, and in hardcore it could very well end your world. Once you've gone through everything, double checked and made sure that there's no mistakes, we're going to jump down here and remove this water and let ourselves out. Grab a bucket. You can also place a block here and break it. And we're just going to break the blocks to get out. And we're going to put 9 signs down here in order to create our killing room. So you'll put 1 over each hopper. Then you'll need your bucket of lava. You'll Place your bucket of lava on whichever block you want on top of the signs. Seal this up before the lava comes out. You'll see the whole thing fills up with lava. Now we'll head back to the roof here, and we're gonna finally fill this thing in and get some spawns started. So you can use whatever block you want. You can use the flooring block, but I like to use slabs. It's a little bit of extra insurance to prevent random mob spawns and destroying your creeper rates. I'd also like to use a different texture so that if I ever want to expand this, I know exactly what blocks I need to break to get in there. With the whole ceiling sealed up, don't forget to add some torches up here. Last thing you need is to run your rates with mobs and have mobs falling down on you. At this point, you should have creepers falling into that killing chamber and already start stockpiling up some gunpowder. But you need to add villagers and zombies to all these villager pods. Now, I'm in creative. You won't have access to these eggs if you're in survival, but just for the first 3, I'm just going to fill them in so you can see that this does work. And then I'll show you how I get the villagers and the zombie into the last one. It's not exactly fun, but it works. Here we are, back on top of the last villager pod. We got a couple beds here. We're going to throw them on top of the holes with the pillows directly over the hole in the villager pod. And just for the sake of things, let's say that we have 3 villagers down here that we've already brought in by nether portal or whatever. We're going to build a stairway up. It goes all the way to villager pod. And then we're going to wait for nighttime. Now, through the magic of creative mode, we're just going to turn at night, and you're going to watch these villagers pathfind up to the, whoops, maybe only do one at a time, but they're going to pathfind up to the bed, and they're going to go to sleep. Once they're asleep, the boogeyman's going to come. He's going to break their beds, and they're going to fall in a hole, and they're going to find a new bed and go back to sleep. I'm just going to really quick replace that one that fell rather than go all the way back to the bottom. I think you get the picture. Now the zombie's a little bit different story. The first thing you're going to do is break some of these blocks and set up a trapdoor. So you'll just replace those blocks with full blocks, and you're going to leave a 2x2 opening, 2x2 I said, with trapdoors on the edges. You'll open those. Then you're going to build off a spawning platform. It's got to be, I think it's 24 blocks away from you. And just build out a ways. Technically your platform could be 1x1 all the way out, but with us competing with the creeper spawns, I figure I'll make it a little bit wider. So you'll see I made a little bit of a mistake here. I went into survival mode and accidentally spawned some lovely phantoms. Eventually you'll get a zombie to spawn out here instead of this creeper, and you just go close enough to lure them back. I tried to make an example here, spawned a zombie, I was gonna go grab it, down I go, and take 2. Zombie falls in the hole, seal it up, get rid of all the extra stuff, good to go. Alright guys, congratulations on making it to the end. So here's what you finally need to build this. For the main build, that's 1 floor and 1 pod, you'll need everything in this chest. For each additional spawn level, you'll need what's in this chest. You can add this to what you need for the first part. And for each additional villager pod, you'll add this to what you need in that main chest.